Whenever you're ready.
It's going?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, my name is Carissa Schneider, and I'm a freshman here at UWM, and I chose to attend school here because of swimming, and that's what I'm going to tell my story to you about today. I remember that I started swimming when I was 7 years old because my parents got a flyer in the mail talking about the new swim team that was going to be starting at our local high school. And at the time I was involved in soccer and gymnastics, but I wasn't really in love with the sport, and my sister Abby, she's older than me, was the same way. So my parents said that this was like a new opportunity, and so we decided to take up on it. And so we went, and I had no idea how to swim. I had taken swim lessons before, but I definitely wasn't at anywhere close to the elite level, or even knowing how to, like, what times were good or what times were bad. And so it was just something new, and I ended up falling in love with it. And so I'm going to tell you about my favorite swimming memory, and that is from my sophomore year of high school. And it was at our final swim meet of the season. And so high school swimming works, you have dual meets throughout the entire year, and then at the very end, to start the championship season, you have sectional prelims, sectional finals, state prelims, and state finals. And sectional prelims, all you really have to do is qualify for the finals, and then at finals, in order to move on to state, you either have to win the event or you have to go the state cut time standard, which are very hard to achieve. And so my sister, Abby, she was a senior at the time. We swam the exact same events, and it was the 500 free. And during sectional prelims, I was not nervous at all because all I knew that I had to do was qualify for the finals, and our sectional wasn't very fast. So Abby and I just kind of cruised it, and she came in first and I came in second, so we were the top 2 seeds for sectional finals. And I just kept on remembering, like, I wanted to go to state with my sister because it was her senior year, and I knew that that would be really cool for her as well as for me. And so after sectional prelims, those happened on Thursday and the finals were on Saturday. So I had a day in between, and I was so nervous because the state time standard that I had to go was a 5:04.92, and my best time before that was a 5:09. So I was like, I have no idea if I'm going to go this time or not, but I just kept on telling myself over and over again, I put in so much hard work this season, and I knew that it would be so cool if I could go to state with her, and I knew that I worked so hard for it. And so I remember the morning of Saturday morning, the 2 of us woke up, and for breakfast we had sausage, eggs, and bagels with peanut butter on them, because that's what we always ate before our championship meets. And we went and ate our breakfast, and then she could drive at the time, so she drove us to the high school, and the adrenaline was already going in the car. We listened to some super hype music to get us prepared, and I knew that she had so much belief in me that I would be able to go this time standard, but I was so nervous and I just wanted to get it done. And so I remember during warm-ups, I just kept on reminding myself, like, how I would have to swim this race in order to go the time standard, and that she would be next to me the entire way because we were the top 2 seeds, so we would be swimming next to each other. So after warm-ups were over, she could tell that I was really nervous, and so she talked to me, and she was like, I'll be there the entire way. We'll look up at the clock together as soon as your hand touches the wall. And I just knew that she would be there the entire way, which gave me a lot of belief in myself, and I knew that she would be there every step of the way, like she has been my entire life. And so I remember after warm-ups, we went into the locker room to put on our fast skins, which we race in during our championship meets. And the entire time she just kept on telling me, like, Carissa, you got this, like, you can do it, we're gonna do this, we're gonna go to state together as sisters, which is something super cool. And so we put on our knee skins, and then the meet had started, and we were just waiting for our race to come up. It was the first race after the diving break. And so after the diving break concluded, Abby was like, okay, let's go warm up now. And so we went in and we did our warm up together, and then we had to go and sit in the ready room together. And I was so nervous, I was shaking, and I just had no idea that, like, this was about to happen. I couldn't believe it. And so we were in the ready room, and I had so much adrenaline, and I remember that behind the blocks I was shaking, and, like, I just felt like I was gonna pass out. but I knew the entire time that I could do it. And so I remember the official blew the whistle to get up on the blocks, and Abby just looked at me and she was like, "You can do this." And so we dove into the water, and I knew as soon as I started swimming that I had never felt so good before as I was swimming, and that I was going to do this. And I had never been so close to Abby either in my life in the race, so I knew I was going fast. And I remember that as soon as I touched the wall at the end of the race, Abby looked at me, she grabbed my hand and she was like, "You did it, you got the cut." And I looked up at the clock and it was a 5:04:26. So I'd gotten the cut by barely 7/10, and I just knew at that moment that all my hard work had paid off and that we would be going to state together as sisters.